Hello, welcome back to Tilly Reads. One of my dear friends has asked me to revive this channel, so I figured for my first video back in a while, I would tell you about the 17 books I read in the month of January. We're in February now. So the first book I read was Flawless by Elsie Silver, and I'm going to do these out of order because I read chaotically. But I did overall read that whole series, so it is over here in the corner. I don't know if you're able to see that, but I do have the whole series, and I had it for a while, and I finally decided to just sit down and read it all, so I loved it. I'm glad I finally got to take it off my shelf, because I probably have too many books on my shelf that I have bought because I thought looked good and then haven't gotten around to reading. So I read that. Then I read Center Ice by Julia Connors, which is another romance book, but it is a hockey romance book. I read Throne of Glass, finally, I know. I was very much take it or leave it. I gave it a 3.75 star rating. I don't own any of the other books yet, so I'm not sure if I will buy them, I'm not sure if they're part of Kindle Unlimited or what. I do know one of my friends has them that I could borrow from her, so I may end up doing that if I need another book at some point soon. I read Beg, Borrow, or Steal, the new book by Sarah Adams. I know my chair is squeaky, I need to fix it. Which, now that I'm looking at this, I don't know where I put that. Oh, it's right over here. And then I read the All Access series by Evie Mitchell. So the first book is Not My Type, then Love Flesh, then Darn It All. And I saw Darn It All recommended to me, and I was like, I have to read this because I don't know if I'm showing it on screen or not yet, but darn knit all, like the crafting, and I knit, so I was like, this is so funny. And then I realized it was the third book in the series, so I went and read the whole series because they're rather short and they're a cute read. Then I read Potions, Poisons, and Policies, which was 3.5 stars. It was very much it felt like a Harry Potter fan fiction, I would say. I read Heavenly Bodies, which was a 5-star read. I really enjoyed it. And that was my first time ever using Fable's book club section. I have been using Fable to keep track of my reading a little bit. I also do have a physical notebook, so I go back and forth between the two. But it was my first time using the book club function in Fable, and I really liked how I could see what people were talking about after certain chapters, like made sure I had read it before I could see. I appreciate that. I read Onyx Storm, so everyone knows who Onyx Storm is, I'm guessing, if you're seeing this video, and that was another 5-star read for me. I thought that it was better than Iron Flame, but I think I would still rate Fourth Wing over Onyx Storm. To prepare for that in December, I had reread Fourth Wing and Iron Flame. I'm mixing that up. But I listened to the graphic audios of the recording of that, and I really enjoyed graphic audio, and I just saw on my TikTok today that they are already recording Onyx Storm, so very excited to see. I'll probably reread that later on. Then I read the Wilmot Sisters series by Chloe Leese. I don't know if that's how you correctly pronounce her last name, but there's 3 books in that series. It's Two Wrongs Make a Right, Better Hate Than Never, and Once Smitten, Twice Shy. I have had Two Wrongs Make a Right for a while. I read the whole Bergman Brothers series last year and really loved it, so I went out and I bought Two Wrongs Make a Right, but then I decided I didn't want to read it until the series was complete. But then I forgot about that, decided to start reading it, only to realize that the series was completed like a week before I started reading it. So talk about timing, it was kind of funny. I then read Spiral, which is up here. That is the second book by Bal Cabra, and that marked my 15th book of the year at that time, and that was a 4.5-star read. I thought it was really cute. I think I still liked the first book better, but I did think it was cute. I read Unloved because I spotted it at my local Barnes & Noble before it was supposed to be published, but I got it, so Unloved. That one was also 4.5 stars in the end, but it took me a while to really get into it because it's set at the same time as the first book instead of following it, and my brain just wanted it to be following it. But now that I realize that it's at the same time, I feel like I would enjoy like reading both and going back and forth between the two chapters. That's what makes sense. And then the last book I read in January was Out of the Woods by Hannah Bonham Young, which I'm realizing I put it all the way over there so you can't see it. Hannah Bonham Young has written the Next of Kin series, Next to You, and I'm blanking on the other book, but this is the fourth one. Oh, Out on a Limb is the third. And then this is the fourth book in that. They're like kind of series, but they're more interconnected standalones. I think is a better way to describe it. They have people who are mentioning across them, but this one was really interesting because unlike the others, this is about a marriage in trouble, and you get to see a couple actually work through and communicate things. And I was like, wow, imagine that communication in a romance book. But I did really enjoy it, and I definitely would recommend it. So overall, my 5-star ratings for the month of January were Out of the Woods, Once Smitten Twice Shy, which actually the whole Wilmot sister series I did rate 5 stars, Onyx Storm, Heavenly Bodies, and I think that's it. Yeah, those are the only 5-star ratings I gave in the month of January. I feel like I have to give Onyx Storm as my favorite book of the month. But if I didn't choose Onyx Storm, I would probably choose not Out on a Limb, that's the other one. Choose Out of the Woods. I really love Hannah Bonham Young. She writes so well, and it just really makes me dive into her world, so I really appreciate that. So those are the books I read this or last month, and I will try and bring back this channel. Who knows? I'm kind of all over the place with my crafts lately. I will admit, this weekend bookbinding is the first time I've been bookbinding since almost September. I decided to make a lot of journals for everyone in my team at work, which is 30 people. And then I just burnt myself out and I could not think about bookbinding at all. So it's very exciting to bring it back. And it's given me a moment to take a break from knitting because I've been knitting a lot. So all that to say is that I'm hoping this channel is back, and I'll let you know if it actually is, or you'll see if it actually is. So call me out on it if I tend to take too long. And if you have any suggestions for how I could improve, besides actually posting more frequently, let me know. Thanks.